Welcome back to Main Street Living. Over 72 million households and businesses subscribe to broadband provided by a cable provider. And of course, during this pandemic, there are more people using the internet now than ever. Here to talk about this is Kevin Hart. He's the Chief Product and Technology Officer for Cox. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing great. Thanks.
Good. Well, we really appreciate you being here because like I said, a lot of people are online right now using the internet. We've got people working from home, people homeschooling their kids. How are you handling all of this increased traffic?
Well, the increased traffic is really going quite well on our network. First, I wanted to say thank you to all our healthcare workers, our frontline workers, and first responders. They're doing a terrific job. And so is our network. Our network has been built for peak demand. We typically build about 12 to 18 months ahead of the curve. And we actually experienced about 12 months of growth in the last 2 months. So fortunately, we were ready for the spike. There's been about a 15 to 20% downstream growth over the last 2 months, and about 30 to 35% in the upstream traffic growth rate. So significant portion of traffic. As I mentioned, though, we build for peak, which is typically Saturday or Sunday night. It's moved to like 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. during the weekdays. So a lot of people, as you said, working from home, learning from home, and some good old-fashioned entertainment, over-the-top video and gaming and things of that nature to entertain the kids. We have a long-term plan. We were ready for this short-term spike. We have about 28,000 nodes, network points, and about 99% of those are super healthy. And the ones that need some treatment, our teams are working 24/7 to make sure our customers have the best experience possible.
And this is wonderful to hear. And I'm big on disaster preparedness. And it sounds like Cox has been prepared for this type of disaster for a long time. So it's good to hear that. And what else are you doing to help people maybe struggling to get online and get the services they need?
Right, you're right. We do have a business continuity team, and we actually did a tabletop exercise on preparing for a pandemic. And so the teams were ready to scale with their PPE and all the procedures to make sure we're safe as well as our customers. But to your point, we have a couple of different programs. We have a program called Connect to Compete, which provides internet access to low-income families. Their kids can learn from home during the remote work as well as remote school. We've also opened up thousands of Wi-Fi hotspots across our footprint so that our customers can leverage our Wi-Fi network at no charge. We've been gracious with our data usage allowances, allowing people to really use all the bandwidth they need for this period of time. Telehealth solutions. We've also been working with our customers, both residential and Cox business customers, to make sure to give them relief on late fees. And we've also increased our speeds across our footprint as well to make sure people can have a super fast connection. So it's been a busy couple of months, but the teams are working around the clock to really try to do the right thing for our customers and our community.
Yes, busy to say the least. So thank you guys for doing all of that stuff for your customers. And what tips do you have for people at home who may be struggling with slow service? What can they do to help speed things up?
Yeah, great question. Even if we provide super fast speed to your home, the in-home network always needs some attention as well. And so a couple of tips. Make sure you have an up-to-date, best-in-class Wi-Fi router. At Cox, we have a panoramic Wi-Fi, which can provide folks super fast wall-to-wall speed in their home. If you have, like myself, I have 3 daughters, my wife, we're all at home. So we have concurrent users fighting for that bandwidth. So make sure you're optimizing the times of day when people are using heavy traffic applications. Software downloads, games like Fortnite send huge patches over the internet. Fortunately, that's late at night, so that doesn't contend a lot of times.
True.
And then those that have video cameras, if you're running a high-def video camera 24/7, that really puts a lot of bandwidth. So you can adjust the bit rate, save yourself a little bit of bandwidth, and keep that for the learn from home and work from home application. So those are a couple of ideas. And then, of course, you can always upgrade your speed to provide even more speed and bandwidth for your family.
I didn't realize there were so many options there. So that is very useful information for everybody watching here. And before we go, I want to ask, has Cox done anything to help the first responders or build any emergency networks?
Yeah, great question. As I mentioned, hats off to the medical workers, the first responders doing great work across our markets and across America. So thank you for that. We partner with a lot of the hospitals in our markets, providing bandwidth, and we've provided increased services. We're also doing a lot of things to get COVID-19 information out. We have that on our Contour 2 application where they can go to get advice and input. We also recently bought a company, Trapalo, that provides remote healthcare monitoring, so doctors can check on their patients remotely. We've shipped about 20,000 kits here over the last couple of months. We have about 55,000 that we're putting together that are in process. And this really helps the patient and the doctor stay connected remotely and keep them out of the hospital, particularly if they can't travel. And so those are a couple of things we're doing on the healthcare front. And then we also have a new program called One Call a Day, where we're actually Cox employees are volunteering to call folks that are isolated at home, not to sell them anything, just to reach out and lend them a hand and listen to some stories and help people stay connected. So the network's keeping folks connected, and we're also trying to stay connected with our customers and our community as well.
That is so sweet that you're reaching out and calling people, because a lot of people are feeling so lonely and isolated right now in the house. And just to hear a friendly voice on the other line, I know means so much. Kevin Hart, thank you so much for joining us today and for everything Cox is doing to help the community. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Cheryl. Take care.